Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about online courses and online labs. I'm here to share with you just a little bit about what I have learned. I don't have that much experience to draw on, but I thought I would just share with you what I already know and my experiences taking online summer courses as well, just to give you a better idea of what they might be like. So with that being said, let's just jump right into today's video. Let's go. Alright, I gotta rewind a little bit just to help you guys understand exactly what my experience with online classes looked like, simply because it was a very rough transition. COVID evolved really quickly, and at UBC things kind of went from 0 to 100 really quick. On Friday I had class, and then I got an email on I don't know, Friday night, and they're like, you're not going back to class. Changing an entire university system and shifting it from in-person to online over the course of a weekend is really difficult and honestly not possible. I'm not trying to degrade the hard work that UBC profs put in, instructors, the school as a whole. It made for a really difficult transition for us students because we went from having lectures that were very clear, organized, thorough, linear, taught us everything that we needed to and in a way that we easily understood. And we went from that to having to suddenly teach ourselves university level calculus and university level physics and chemistry, and it's really difficult when they're still trying to figure out how that all works. University learning in and of itself is very different from that of high school, so come term 2 I kind of had an idea of how to direct my studies and how to take that initiative. That transition period was not great, I will not lie. Once it got to a point where our professors and instructors were mostly set up online, and our labs too, it wasn't horrible. Everybody has different experiences with online learning. There's no consistency when it comes to something like this. Everybody has a different distinct style, and that's not something that is easily catered to in person, let alone online. For me personally, online courses were something that I had a little bit of experience with in high school. I was pretty lucky in the sense that I kind of knew what to expect, and I knew how to discipline myself when it came to learning online. What's so challenging to me about online learning is the fact that you have to be so disciplined and you have to be able to regulate your time on a whole other level. If time management already is not your thing, you need to learn how to manage your time and how to keep yourself focused. Watching online lectures and videos is not engaging, it is not interactive, and honestly, it's boring. And you're sitting there and you're just watching a screen and nothing's happening. So it makes it really hard to kind of stay motivated when you don't really even have a way to engage. Something that I tried to do to help me stay on top of my schoolwork and stay motivated was kind of set up a daily routine. It was just the way that I chose to carry out my day, and it just kind of became habit because I liked it, it worked for me, and it kept me excited. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to online learning. You have to find ways to keep yourself engaged and excited, whether it's about the material or something else in your day. Essentially, what my day typically looked like in the month of March was wake up, go get breakfast, watch my lecture, do an assignment, and then I would usually take 25-30 minute break, and then I would get back to it and eat my lunch and study basically all afternoon until about 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, I would go out with some friends, play a few games of basketball, chill in the sun, and just kind of take that time in the afternoon to just relax and enjoy myself. Typically, my evenings were then dinner and a little bit more studying and then bed. Something that made the transition both a little harder and a little easier was the fact that my workload remained pretty consistent, and the amount of time that I was studying during this time was pretty much the same as the amount of time I spent studying before. There wasn't really much in the way of trying to get used to a new type of workload, simply because that was pretty much the same. The only difference was the way that the content was being delivered to me. And that was what I had to get used to. Like I said before, having previous experience with online classes made it a little easier to adjust to this. One of the biggest things when it came to moving online was making sure that profs and TAs were still available to students. Pretty much all of my profs still continue to host their office hours, it just happened virtually. Canvas is basically UBC's online schooling platform. They used Canvas before online courses were even a thing. It hosts the homepage for all of your courses, where you would find all of your lecture slides, your exam information, your grades for your classes. It has announcements, emails, everything you need as a student. When they shifted online, all the office hours moved online and all the lectures moved online, and everything was available on Canvas. Overall, the experience that I had with online courses was pretty good. Not to say that I'm looking forward to doing it again, because learning in person is so much easier, but I know it's for our safety and for everyone else's safety. My biggest tip to you incoming first year students is to set up a study schedule. But a pretty good portion of your lectures might be live. If lectures are recorded, I do not encourage you to be like, oh yeah, I'll just watch it later. I would strongly recommend that you watch it when you have that class, because one, that's giving you a routine and a schedule to stick to, and two, that means if you need help, your prof is already there during that time. If you have the ability to talk to your prof during those live lectures rather than watching a recording later and being stuck on something, that is so vital to your learning. Another really big thing with online learning is trying not to get frustrated, which I know can be really hard when you don't understand a concept, but getting yourself worked up over something that you can't immediately change and that help is available for, it's not worth it. One thing that I found to be really helpful was having a study space outside of my bedroom. I want to associate my bedroom with relaxation and, you know, just chilling out. Having a separate space to study and dedicate time to school is really important, and making sure that it's a comfortable space that you can be in is also really valuable. Studying is not always fun and lectures are not always exciting, so having a space that keeps you kind of on your toes and just a little more inclined to pay attention and engaged with school, very important. In terms of online labs, I don't have that much experience with this, just because by the time that labs were shifted online, at least for chemistry, I only had one left, and for physics, I only had two left. And they were tutorials, not labs, so it was a little bit different. The chemistry lab manager was really on top of her game when it came to setting everything up online. Within 24 hours of UBC announcing that classes were going to be all online, she had everything on the Canvas webpage. Chemistry labs are a lot of work. And the nice thing was that when it shifted online, a lot of the extra stuff that you had to do wasn't necessary anymore, because there were only so many things that you could actually do for the lab, because you weren't even in the physical laboratory. The nice thing with this is that it alleviated a lot of the extra stress that came with working with the equipment and learning how to use it. It was definitely a little bit stressful because, again, it was navigating something completely new, completely different, and everything that we had previously done in person was now happening online. In comparison to in-person labs, I found them ever so slightly easier. The only challenge that I had with them was not being able to actually go and talk to a lab TA. That was really the only downside for me, but overall it was a pretty manageable experience. In general, my online experience went pretty good. Whether or not that was what you wanted to hear or what you were hoping to hear, I don't know. That is just my experience with online courses. Not the best, not the worst. You guys are so brave for starting this journey in a way that literally no one else has ever. I know how excited I was to start university and be on campus and be at UBC and to meet all of these new people, and I'm so sorry that that's not something that you guys get to experience, at least right now. You will one day. That's what you need to focus on. It's not never, it's just not something that's going to happen right now. Starting university is such a huge milestone, and I'm very sorry that that's not something you guys get to celebrate in a traditional sense. It's going to be different, and different isn't always better, but it's also not always worse. Please don't get too caught up in the idea that you're not having your first year experience. You still are. It's just happening in a different way. I totally understand. Like, I am not the type of person that likes change. I like things to go as planned. This is something I've had to learn to be more understanding of, because obviously life does not go as planned in any area of life. That's kind of what I want to leave you guys with today. A few of you have already been asking me questions about what online courses and labs are like, but if you have any more questions or any things that you want to clarify, please feel free to reach out or leave a comment down below. I am more than happy to help you guys out with this stuff, because I know it's crazy and I know it's overwhelming. I don't always have the answers, but I do my best to research them and give you the best possible answer I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.